Hey guys, Crew of Blind Wave, I'm Eric.
I'm Shane.
I'm Aaron.
And we're back with Star Wars Rebels. Last time on Star Wars Rebels was the Sabine episode, or I guess the second of the Sabine episodes, where she went back to her home planet and she is staying there, deciding to find a new leader of Mandalore. We had a lightsaber fight between both people not having Force ability, so...
Yeah, because the one guy had the dark saber and then Ezra threw his saber.
It's more even.
Sabine.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
It's not like a non-Force user keeping up with a Force user.
The only thing,
is ludicrous.
when I was editing it, the only thing that I was like, ugh, is that whenever they jumped out the window and like were falling and stuff, the lightsabers were still on. I'm like, turn them off! You know? Because, man, you get cut in half with that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, Sabine is gone now, so...
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going, but I think that we're going to be moving on from the Mandalorian arc and see what's happening now. So, we didn't have a poll last time. We can't talk about that. Let's just stop it. No, start it! Start!
Who we seeing? This,
Kallus?
Yeah.
Battle station, sir!
It must be Kallus. Yeah?
Prepare tractor beam.
Oh! That's the Star Tours one.
Remove his helmet.
Oh, with Ezra.
Yeah, I thought so.
What are you looking at, Imperial scum? Stay here and wait for processing. Oh, we can do that. We can do that just fine.
Turn the camera off.
Don't you realize how dangerous it is for you to be here? I'll be executed for treason.
You might be anyway. We think the Empire was monitoring your last Fulcrum transmission.
So you got captured to warn me?
Nope, to get you out of here.
Oh!
But I guess I have no choice now.
He's so useful in there,
He
though.
reminds me of Saw Gerrera. To warn me?
Open this door.
Stop! I'll tell you anything!
A confession already? You are good. But it will have to wait. Admiral Thrawn's fleet's just arrived.
Oh, he'll recognize Ezra.
Shuttle TYA-77, transmit clearance codes.
Copy, Chimera. Transmitting codes now.
Chimera. Yeah, see the design of on the bottom of that storage door? Apparently that's a chimera. Like the bottom of Thrawn's storage door has like this like dragon-like design on the bottom of it.
Take it to detention block B7.
Just...
Our clearance codes are for the light cruiser, not Thrawn's Star Destroyer.
Chop, you've got to get us those clearance codes. Those were Sector Command staff. What are they doing here?
We can only guess.
Sector Command?
Thrawn is known for being thorough.
So that's what those things do.
Yeah, that's how he turned off the,
Camera?
You're
Yeah.
clear to proceed, Lieutenant.
just making sure that they are them kind of thing.
I like the black shoulder pad.
What's that?
It's from the Dark Troopers.
Whoa, look at these droids.
Yeah, we've seen these before.
Yeah, he's just punching these guys.
Override quote. Rock.
Rock!
Oh.
Colonel Yularen.
Remember Yularen?
I don't know if
Wasn't he on the Death Star?
Yeah, he was.
He was, but he's also worked with Anakin Skywalker on a lot of missions.
Clone Wars.
of all my star pupils, what brings you to Lothal?
We're in need of his expertise. There's a rebel spy in our midst, codename Fulcrum, and perhaps today we're going to learn their true identity.
So Kallus was Yularen's student, is that what he said?
I will do everything in my power to find this spy, Grand Admiral.
Thank you for your enthusiasm, Lieutenant. However, few are above suspicion. ISB Colonel Yularen would question each of you.
In the meantime, be vigilant. Watch your subordinates closely, and your peers even closer.
An analysis of rebel hyperspace routes, their attacks on Imperial ships and facilities, and rather important,
The 90 systems.
proximity to Lothal.
Whoever this spy is, they have a method of transmitting that we are as yet unaware of. If I can do anything to help, I'll let you know. Agent?
I like Yularen.
You said no traitor escapes the
Dies on the Death Star.
I guess we'll see.
Kallus, I saw a report.
Lots of familiar
that
faces.
theft from Lothal was prevented.
ISB is watching. You should too.
What? Why? You don't mean Price is the rebel spy? That's why she wasn't in the meeting.
Thrawn has no proof yet, but I'm sure he'd be grateful if you kept an eye on her.
He can count on me.
And not watch him.
Yeah.
I've just learned that Thrawn is very close to locating your base. You have to tell me where it is.
So you can tell him? No way. You'll find out when we get there.
Not if Thrawn destroys it first. I need to know its location so I can remove it from his data.
I'm hoping it's not double
It's
cross.
even on his list.
I don't think it is.
Neither I.
Accomplish both of our goals by infiltrating Grand Admiral Thrawn's office. Agent Kallus can keep our base hidden, and we can gain the clearance codes we so desperately need.
Okay, we'll do it, but how will we know if Thrawn is in his office?
Lieutenant List, where are you?
Following Price. She's headed to the detention cells with Admiral Thrawn and Colonel Yularen.
Stay on her, but remember, Lieutenant, don't let them see you. Get you a uniform.
I love Ezra's new outfit. Wish he kept that all the time.
Yeah.
Whose stick was used last?
Is the prisoner?
The code records show your Lieutenant List was the last person to access this cell.
AP5, stand guard here and let us know if anyone's coming.
Oh, good. The thankless job.
I love his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convince him you are Lieutenant List. Here is his code
Convince.
cylinder.
I am Lieutenant List. Admiral Thrawn told you to expect us.
Lieutenant List. Thrawn told me to expect you.
You were right. Thrawn is close to finding our base.
Roy, erase that planet.
What if he made a copy and he compares them?
Yeah. I removed 5 planets.
Yeah.
He's at the door.
I'll handle it.
He's at the door.
Lieutenant List is inside, sir.
Ready your weapon and follow me.
Oh boy.
Drop the holomat. Come on, Kallus, let's... Where'd he go?
He left.
Hurry!
He can't get caught. Is he gonna turn the droids? Turn the droids, let him start fighting? Be a distraction?
I don't know if he can be mind tricked.
No.
I don't know. I don't
He's
think
not
he's
weak
that.
minded.
Yeah.
I figured he would have memorized that thing.
Yeah, he would have known how many planets were on
There
there.
it
and,
goes.
wait, there's one planet missing.
Is everything all right, sir?
Apparently so.
Ugh, terrified.
Uh-oh.
Jeez.
Good job. Dang!
Ooh! Just kill him real quick, Ezra.
He's dodging like Mike Tyson.
Look at him.
Yeah.
You can't study their art.
Blaster.
Nice.
Man.
Colonel, listen to me carefully.
Still calm.
Yeah.
Here goes nothing.
That was cool.
Whoa.
Hey, Grants, you want to fill me in?
Lot of ships.
How many?
Don't worry about
You
it.
can't
Just
see.
transmit the codes.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Comfortable?
I thought I lost a little weight.
Troopers, stand down and remove your helmets. I'm placing you under arrest.
There must be some kind of mistake, sir. I'm sure we can.
Shoot him.
Okay. Stun. Come on, Rex.
Don't worry. You won't.
She is the traitor.
Chopper, close the doors.
That's the best. Stun grenade. Yep. Now he thinks he's a traitor.
Yeah.
She's the traitor.
Bad choice.
You're the shuttle thief. Ooh. Come on, we've got to go.
He's gonna stay now.
There's been a change of plans now that I've captured Fulcrum.
Okay.
Do
And
more good here.
Alright. Getting work.
that guy didn't see anything.
They switched things, switched them back.
I'm not a spy. Governor Price is.
It seems
That's what a spy would say.
Kallus!
All right.
It's like a happy ending, and that guy's like gonna suffer and die.
Still Thrawn.
The Empire will make a note of your service, Agent Kallus. You may go.
Thank you, Grand Admiral.
What does he know?
A stylized expression of a Lothcat,
Yeah.
ubiquitous native of Lothal, and rendered by a very familiar artist. I believe this helmet belongs to a compatriot, the young Jedi, and I escaped prisoner, Ezra Bridger.
Bridger? If Bridger was the shuttle thief, why didn't Kallus alert us?
Because, Colonel Yularen, Kallus is the rebel spy, Fulcrum.
I would never.
Does he use
have
this against him,
suspected
though?
One of my best students was capable of this betrayal.
I believe Agent Fulcrum will prove far more useful to the Empire than Kallus ever was.
Yeah. Shit. This is good. That one makes sense. I love Thrawn's theme song.
Yeah.
All right. That was good. That was a good episode.
It was
So
real
he-
good. It had me really guessing and what was going to happen,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. I mean, he had a good plan on trying to pin it on the other guy.
Yeah, it just Thrawn
But-
saw through it.
Yeah. And then the use of that art,
Yeah.
that's what helped him, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, it's knowing your enemy. And
Yeah.
he knows the enemy well enough to know, like, well, this would have been the art of Sabine.
Yeah.
So Kallus should have known that that was Ezra. Or one of those rebels.
Yeah, it's interesting. So that means that Thrawn is going to use misinformation through Fulcrum then, right? I'd imagine. That's what I would do.
Well, yeah, you give him the information that you can set a trap with
Yeah.
or whatever.
Now, when he looked at the map, he said everything seems to be in order.
Yeah, either he's missing it or he's like, it's missing a planet. He has
Yeah.
to
It's
compare it.
confirming his suspicion
Yeah.
by saying everything's in order.
See, I was thinking like, what I would do is I'd just have if I had an extra copy of that, you got to compare the two
Yeah.
copies. Whatever's missing is
Like, is that
going to
be his
planet.
only... That's his only map of the planets that are left?
I guess.
He might think that no one can access to his office on his own ship.
But he knows someone was in his office.
He does now.
A spy, a rebel
Two
spy.
copies of that.
That's why I would have, like...
Shit.
I would have tried to maybe remove, like, 3 planets or something. Just so that you can't be like, oh, one's missing, it's that one.
Yeah, like,
what I mean?
well, remove 5 and add 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can do
Yeah.
that, yeah. That way there's no way, even if he had a duplicate, he'd be like, wait a minute, it was these 5 planets,
Yeah.
not these 5 planets. Because then by counting, if he was like, there's 40 planets remaining, like, wait, why is there 39?
Sometimes I wonder about the sophistication of the technology. Like, when does computer tell him someone logged in 1 minute ago?
Well, with it being Star Wars, it's pretty much whatever the plot needs.
Yeah.
But I get you.
Well, I think part of it too, like that's in his personal office, at his personal computer. It might not necessarily have its own password, since you got to get in
Yeah.
with the password. So maybe since List came in, he was able to do that, and that was just like, well, Thrawn's computer did this.
Yeah.
That's how they sent the codes. It was like Thrawn sent the codes to the rebels from his computer.
I would imagine somebody like Thrawn, who has been whittling this list down, would remember everything about the list. Honestly, like, it could be a photographic memory kind of thing where he knows that one's missing.
Wasn't last time
Yeah.
Last time it was 90 systems.
they said? Yeah, I was gonna say they said 90 whenever they did the one robot one.
Yeah,
With,
I found it was interesting and I appreciated the most we've ever seen Thrawn struggle was with those robots fighting him because they have no culture, they have no art, he can't study them. You know what I'm saying? I think it's an interesting idea that he trains against things that don't have a bias to a certain decision when it comes to fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's one way to
I
look
mean,
at
have,
it.
have
Yeah,
we
that's
seen
what
him?
I would think.
Have we seen him fight anything else?
Not like hand to hand,
Yeah.
which I don't know if I love the idea of him also being a really good hand to hand fighter.
He was in the books.
Versus just having him be like a more commander and the guy behind the fighters, you know, playing his chess match. But I mean, he can also be a really good fighter. I enjoy when a character has limitations. You know.
I do too, but part of me also makes sense that he's just.
Yeah.
I mean, as a soldier, you gotta be smart,
Yeah.
but he's climbed the ranks. He had to be a good fighter too.
True. But was he blocking like an actual punch from those things, or did he have something on his arm that was blocking it?
I thought he
Because
just
it
had-
made like a metallic clank.
I
but
thought he
didn't
just had
really see
gloves,
anything.
and then his arm was
Yeah.
bare.
So I mean, he can take a punch from like a. I mean, I don't know how powerful those things are, but I assume they're pretty big, pretty strong.
I don't know. We saw them fight. Didn't we see like droids and stuff fighting on Clone Wars, and people were like fighting them hand to hand? Like, remember those?
Not really those things.
what
Those are
were
the ones
the-
that were in. I'm sorry. Those were the ones that were in the thing that Hondo was like fighting, right? The sentry droids.
was that
like-
them?
Yeah, that's the same thing. I mean, they're based off the Dark Troopers from Dark Forces, the Kyle Katarn game. They're based off that design.
Well, I was gonna say, remember those the one in Clone Wars that looked like battle droids, but they were like a brown or dark color that were like
Darky.
I don't know why I said darky, but I was like black or blackish. Like
Which ones?
I think they were like assassin type droids, but they were
Commando
like
droids.
yeah, those guys.
They were more like
They weren't the
acrobatic.
blue ones that did this, but
Yeah.
they looked like battle droids, and those ones kind of combined.
They would have like vibro swords, and they were like kind of acrobatic. Those
yeah.
ones,
They'd be climbing things and stuff.
Yeah.
And remember them?
Yeah.
Like I thought people fought those hand to hand before, but they were
Yeah.
tougher.
I guess I'm maybe I am just putting that in my head because I remember playing that game with the Dark Troopers, and if them hitting you, it's a one hit kill.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought it was at least interesting. The very beginning being that first person, like from Kallus's point of view.
Yeah.
Like I guess I thought like at first like a grenade went off and like there was an alarm going off and he was kind of, out of it. But I think it was just he woke up to an alarm going off.
He did.
So I was like, well, it was a neat little like. And then once you like realize what's going on and where you are, like, well, you gotta be Kallus, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting.
Does it have anything to expand upon with that last shot we saw of him last season with Zeb? When he came back home and it was just unloving, no one there to say, "Hey, are you okay?" Like he just wakes up, something bad's happening, and we see this kind of desolate, shitty room. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I'm Kallus again." Like maybe he's kind of forgetting who he is.
He's like high ranking.
But when he looks in the mirror, he's like, "Yes, I'm Kallus. Put on this face and let's go." Versus waking up as Fulcrum or a rebel, he has to then look in the mirror and put on the face of an Imperial.
Maybe
that's what they're going for with the whole point of view thing.
Maybe. I'm sure there had to be some reason rather than just like because you could have just not had that.
Yeah. Well, because you're right. Like it's a point of view, so it's us, the audience. We sympathize with rebels when we're like, okay, who's this? Who's this? We're an Imperial. We gotta think like an Imperial. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I like the idea because it instantly within 10 seconds, I'm with Fulcrum. Even regardless if I hate Kallus for what he's done in the past, I'm with him now because I was inside his eyes. You know? So that's
like I'm a good guy. Okay, we gotta be bad guys.
Yeah. What'd you guys think of seeing Admiral Yularen again?
It's neat. I'm glad that they brought him into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
Well, I had said like he was on the Death Star, right? He survives up to that point. At least I think he died on the Death Star, right?
Yeah, he dies when it explodes. I really liked all the stuff he had with Anakin in the Clone Wars because he was a very by the book kind of guy. Mm-hmm. That was the episode where Anakin actually went out into space on the cruiser, right? And he was like in a spacesuit fighting.
Yeah.
And he was just like, he hated his cowboy antics.
Yeah.
But they always worked together.
Yularen was always by the books. I think that's why he's become Imperial Security or Imperial Intelligence, I guess. Right?
Yeah, they had a lot of successful missions in the Clone Wars together.
Yeah. And then, that actor's name, he plays Yoda. He's the Yoda in Clone Wars as well. Also, if you watch, the Academy Awards, he's always like, "Welcome back to the 67th Academy Awards." I'm always thinking, fucking Yularen.
Oh, really?
I thought it was Tom something.
Something Baker. It's Bradley Baker.
I'll be pissed off if I just don't know.
D. Bradley Baker?
D. Bradley Baker.
No, he's like a voice for
Kane. Tom Kane.
Tom Kane.
That's his name. He voices Yularen. He was the Clone Wars,
They announced
war on fucking Geonosis.
It actually startled me because it sounded just like it.
Yeah.
Well, at one point, I was just when we first started really talking after the
yeah,
and I kind of just started smiling, chuckling. Cause I was just like, that's what I hear now.
It makes me think of okay, we know he was at that scene when Vader's choking the dude. I imagine just that voice oh my goodness, Vader, release him. So it was cool seeing him again. I hope we see him more.
Yeah, I love seeing the faces from Clone Wars too.
To be fair,
and since we're not going to get him in any movies or anything.
Yeah.
I can imagine having that guy somewhere.
He, for old EU people that loved Thrawn, Thrawn had a commander with him called Pelion, who was kind of his second in command, and he was an older guy with white hair and a white mustache. And after the Thrawn threats were gone, Pelion stuck around and actually became not really a good guy, but it's weird seeing those two together because it reminds me of Thrawn and Pelion and not Thrawn and Yularen.
Yeah.
So for anybody that used to watch that stuff, I wonder if that was an intentional thing or if we're just kind of not supposed to think about that anymore.
I don't like seeing him in Empire because I liked him being a good guy. It's seeing him.
I think he just loaded the government.
I think he is a good guy. He just thinks the Empire is the best way of doing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he didn't he's not fucking killing guys and.
Yeah, I think about 90% of the people in the Republic. 99% of the people in the Republic became Imperial.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Part of it could be the Senate ran the Empire. It all kind of came into one, you know. And the Senate's still operating right now.
Yeah.
So he just works for what the government is. So
yeah. All the stuff that Palpatine and Sith are doing, no one hears about it.
Yeah.
So like in the Tarkin book, it says like, actually the economy has never been better.
Everybody's happy and
crime rate,
and stuff. Yeah.
Crime rate is an all-time low. What about the Empire's evil? Nothing. You know, in the Tarkin.
Well, except like mass
blowing up
genocide.
planets.
Well, I'm not talking about like
Yeah.
this Tarkin actually obviously, but the common citizen doesn't know anything. The common citizen,
Yeah, I know. Like,
is living a better life.
Mass
What's Zeb's?
Well, there's slavery going on.
Oh, the
Lasat.
Lasat.
I didn't look it up. I just got to Google. But it's Lasat.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I didn't.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't get there. Like, I opened up Google. I'm like, Lasat. Okay, Lasat. So the Lasats, they were genocide. I mean, like, everybody was killed by Kallus himself. You know.
At the command of the Empire.
Yeah, and now Kallus, we've since learned from then that he was, you know, like, well, my people were being fucking killed too. So Kallus thinks that he's doing the right thing until he learns what the Empire really does. So the only difference between Kallus and Yularen at this point is just information about knowing more what the Empire is.
Yeah.
Some of those seem like high officials. They
Yeah.
don't know everything the Empire does.
They might not know everything.
I feel like Admiral Thrawn would know a lot.
He probably does, but I mean, maybe like Shane said, there's certain people that put blinders on themselves because everything is going so well, and they don't think about, like, well, you know, Yularen was responsible for a lot of casualties on the other side of the war in Clone Wars. No one cared because they were droids. But if he was fighting any other war, he would still be hurting a lot of people, you know?
Yeah.
We just don't think about it because it's like, oh, it's our Jedi heroes versus
droids.
Nothing, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Yeah. You don't want to get that particular blinder put on you whenever you're watching this show. Like, these people are dying. Yeah. Okay, I don't have anything else. Did you guys have anything else?
No, we talked about the missing planet part of it.
Yeah.
And then we talked about first person Kallus.
Really enjoyed Kallus's plan to frame that guy, and then that guy thought it was Price. You know, that worked out real well.
It was a
for
good
him.
plan.
I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah.
Admiral Thrawn is just it's all about him knowing his enemy. If he didn't know his enemy so well.
Well, and Yularen even kind of suspected something because.
Well, you know what's fun to think about? Not fun, but if Thrawn wants to keep up appearance, he could be torturing that guy for information, knowing he's not Fulcrum, but he has to keep up appearances, so he just does it anyway.
He probably would.
That's okay. I didn't think about that. That's funny.
I definitely can see that.
All right, I don't have anything else. You guys got I don't know if we have any Q&As or not.
Do not know.
Think you do that?
Yeah, I do.
Definitely.
Like we said last time for the Q&As, because we do watch this early on Saturday on Disney XD, not a lot of people get to see the episode before we're done recording. So we'll see what questions we have, and we'll also answer your questions from last episode as well. So let's see what we got here.
Yeah, we have some ones that are from just a few days ago. So, like Lego JPL said, what do you think about the theory of Sabine being a Kenobi? Sabine kind of sounds like Satine.
So Satine and Ben Kenobi had a child.
I don't know if that would have fit in the time frame of
I
them
don't think
knowing
it
each
would.
other, right? Because she
I
died in the Clone Wars.
I like to think that Obi-Wan and Anakin both had the same temptation, and one went through with it and one didn't. So I don't think that they did. That's not to say that I don't think Obi-Wan might never have had a child at all, because I personally think that Rey might be a Kenobi and not a Skywalker.
I like the idea of like during the years of the Jedi Order being a thing, but then after it was gone,
once you realized that ultimately the Jedi were wrong, maybe he could have. He's in the desert. He's just tired, baby. He's tired. You know what? George Lucas even said too, Jedi are not celibate. They're just not allowed to take a wife.
Yeah.
They can go out and have sex because that's part of their natural order.
Well, yeah, and then it keeps the midichlorians going.
Yeah, it keeps it going, baby.
Yeah.
You get stew going. Midichlorian stew.
So I don't know about Sabine being related, but
yeah, you know what?
I don't think there's a
I
time
would
frame
say
for that.
no. If only for
It'd have to be a big retcon.
If only looking at the production of things, I just don't see Lucasfilm giving the go-ahead for a story thread like that for Rebels, you know. But I can see them going that for the movie. That's why maybe instead of having Rey be a Skywalker, you know, and then you have a Kenobi teaching a Skywalker, you then have a Skywalker teaching a Kenobi. I think that would make the perfect circle and rhyme or some shit, you know, I like to do. Kite, KYTE, says, do you guys think Mara Jade will be Saxon's replacement and have a similar role like Thrawn's in Toucan? Now, Saxon was called in that episode the Emperor's Hand, which Mara Jade in the ODU was called the Emperor's Hand. Do we think that they'll bring Mara Jade into this and all that stuff? I personally don't.
No.
But they brought Thrawn in,
And he's after the original trilogy too, as far as story-wise goes.
So, I just don't.
If they brought her in,
like
I don't know, because her character does. They'd have to lose so much of what the character was, because they wouldn't have her marry Luke and have a kid. And
they might
do that.
They'd bring her with like Kanan or
She'd
Ezra,
just be like a
that,
bad.
However,
the same.
She is an extremely popular character. I mean, and that's one of the reasons Thrawn came in. That's why Quinlan Vos was brought in. Extreme popular characters brought into canon like this. So if there's a short list, maybe she's on it. But I don't know about this era, because if we're gonna keep the same kind of character, she would only be about 15 or so.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good point to bring her into it. Thrawn, I feel like, could work in any you could have had a character like Thrawn in the Clone Wars, and it'd be like, whoa, that's like the Admiral Thrawn they had here, and then now he's like an older one, like you could have had a young Thrawn to an old Thrawn. That could have been neat.
They could change a timeline and bring her in. I just don't see the point, because they couldn't give the fans everything they want to see about her.
Yeah, you'd be taking away too much from the character, I think. Whereas here, I think you have, like with Thrawn, you're not taking away as much. You're still making a really good character without losing a lot from the old storyline.
Thinking about Mara Jade is that the Emperor's Hand back then meant something different, and I think that the Inquisitors took that place of what the Emperor's Hand would be. So I think the Emperor's Hand just means somebody with a power in the Imperial government, but I don't know what it means. I don't know how the structure or the hierarchy would be.
Yeah, the hand.
So I don't know if he's necessarily the same thing when we talk about the Emperor's Hand from the EU. But it was a good question. I like it.
Taylor?
Yep.
Lucky said, do you think Sabine will survive the series now that she has an out and is no longer with the main crew?
I don't think that episode meant to imply we'll never see Sabine again.
She'll be
and
back.
that the show will end without her. I think that... I don't know.
But would she come back, and could she possibly die or be gone forever because of the Mandalorian storylines going on?
Well, what they're saying is that they give her an out, and then our crew dies, and she's still alive because she's not with them, right? Is that what he's saying?
I mean, that could
be. Well,
I
think it implies that they could have her go back there.
Yeah. Or I mean, she could go back and die as part of being there on Mandalore.
True.
It's just asking, do you think that she'll survive now that she's kind of has that division of well, I could go here or be here, because our crew could die and she could live, or the Mandalorians could start a war with the Empire, and maybe they die.
It creates a way for her to have an out if they want to do that.
Yeah, or for them to kill off the character too. I think.
I would say if I'm asked about if she will survive the series or not, if you had asked me the season 1, I probably would have said no. But the character and the way that young girls are looking up to her has grown so much. She's become very popular, so much so that she won that Black Series, which figure should we make? And it was predominantly women that were voting for her,
Cool.
Interested in liking a character that they can look up to and put themselves in. So maybe that, Lucasfilm's a business that looks at that kind of thing. It might influence if, do we kill this character off? Because I don't think Ahsoka was ever supposed to leave the Clone Wars era. And she's popular
she was
when came back.
So much.
Yeah, so... I don't know. We'll see. I like the character. I mean, I feel like sometimes she's given too much to do, or she doesn't have enough limitations to make her super compelling. I'm like, well, Sabine can handle this because she's Sabine. You know?
I mean, it could be a neat storyline for her of her trying to find someone to lead.
Yeah.
It could be a sacrifice in order to find someone to lead, and
True.
then she doesn't survive the series, but it brings the Mandalorians back together.
I made the joke, what if she finds Boba Fett and tries to make him Mandalore? But I was kind of kidding. Some people took me seriously.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think Boba Fett would be a very good one.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I agree.
Because Jango now is technically not even a Mandalorian. He just had Mandalorian armor. They've changed that. So... Anyway, that's pretty much it, I guess. We got anything else?
The other one I saw was from Isaiah.
Yeah?
It just says, what characters would you like to see in Rebels? Are there any other characters from...
Speaking of...
having Clone Wars.
I would enjoy seeing Boba Fett and maybe have the story of how he gets Slave 1 back from Hondo.
Yeah, because we never got... he was still a kid, and it'd be neat to kind of get that.
Maybe him still using Jango's armor and customizing it to his own.
Yeah.
That might be cool. So we got Boba Fett.
Who else was in Clone Wars?
There's a lot of people they've brought...
Or in the EU that we could be hey...
Clone Wars, I'm satisfied the way they bring everyone back. You know what I mean? Everyone I've wanted to see, they've shown.
Yeah.
I want more Ahsoka stuff, but,
Yeah.
Oh, some people were saying that Bo-Katan is a Mandalorian from Clone Wars that we saw, she whenever Maul took over, she's like, we won't serve you, and she blasted out. She actually is Mandalorian royalty. So could she be a good replacement as leader to unite the clans again? She's Satine's sister. She's a legacy character that we've seen that we would see in 2 different series if she came back.
Yeah.
So that might be an interesting inclusion.
I'd like to see them bring back. They had him. Wolf and
Gregor.
Gregor.
Yeah.
Like they had them, and then they've just disappeared. Like,
yeah.
Are they just walking around that thing, just staying on that desert planet, hunting worms and shit?
I like to think that Rex might have been more of their caretaker, rather than all 3 of them relying on each other.
Yeah.
Because they seemed a little more crazy and hurt than he was.
Yeah.
So maybe they are with the rebels. They just don't only have the ability to be fighters anymore like he can.
Oh, okay. I was just like, in my mind, I was thinking about like it'd be neat, have those 3 come back and that droid that they were with that took off, and like have them all have to work together on like something.
Yeah.
It would be a neat little like episode or something.
Yeah. Katani, I think was his name.
Is that what it was?
Like, I'd like to see him to come back as well.
Yeah. Because he just disappeared, but I feel like he's got to come back at some point.
Yeah.
I just don't know when. What happened to Cad Bane?
Cad Bane still is out there.
Like,
I'd like to see Cad Bane.
What if he
It
came
would
back?
be really cool to see him back.
Yeah.
I always talk like this.
Dude, him, because he's a chiss.
Yeah.
Him and Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't that be a neat little like...
Yeah.
He's a chiss?
Wasn't he?
He's a
different species.
He's not a
was he?
chiss. He is the same species as
Episode 4.
There's 2 blue aliens talking in episode 4. What are they called? I used to know all.
I can
the
picture what
aliens.
you're talking about.
I used to know all of them and all their names. Now I don't really know them very well.
They're in the canteen.
Yeah.
And they look weird or small.
I want to say they start with
No, they just have these big, like, kind of rounder heads at the top and
I
kind
want
of
to say they start with a
here.
D. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, they're blue and they have red eyes.
Okay, I kind of forgot about those guys.
Yeah, but they're not chiss. Chiss are just more humanoid.
Yeah.
Like these guys are more like.
I never really saw
Bane.
Bane as... I thought Bane looked pretty humanoid. Because those guys have like... Aren't they kind of like skinny and then more
They
rounded?
are, but that's why he wears his big hat.
Oh.
He has that big rimmed hat that he always does that with the Clint Eastwood style. He takes his hat off. He has really sunken cheeks, and he has those things coming off his cheeks.
Yeah.
And his head
is much more
comes up,
rounded.
and then it rounds like kind of like Squidward from SpongeBob. So, anyway, Duros, Duros.
Yeah.
Poll for this week. How about we do this? Will we didn't have a poll last time, but will Sabine be back in this season of Rebels? Want to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really part of this episode, but a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah, and especially with this episode not having
Yeah.
Sabine at all.
Yeah.
Because last time you were like, well, we're probably not going to have her.
Sure.
But we could have.
So let's do that. Do you think Sabine Wren will return to the crew in this season of Star Wars Rebels? I mean, we might see her on her planet, but will she return to the Rebels as an official part of the crew again?
So you're not just like, well, we'll go to Mandalore and meet up with
Yeah.
her and have an episode, and we leave again.
That's what I would say. Because I think it would be pretty obvious that we should see her again sometime.
Back to the crew.
But will she be back with the crew?
I'm going to say no.
This
Yeah.
season, by the finale, we'll see something with her.
Yeah, but will she be back on the crew?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that she's going to find someone to lead, give them the Darksaber, and then come back after she's fulfilled those responsibilities.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't have any reasons to suspect that, but I'm going to.
I just think they'll bring her back to save the day sometime in the end, season finale.
With some Mandalorians backing her, maybe?
But will she be back on the crew, or she just shows up as Mandalorian, saves the day, and
I
goes
don't know
back
if she'll
to
say,
Mandalore?
all right, guys, you can put me back on the payroll. I'm officially back. I think she'll be back, and then she'll just be there.
Like, Rex is part of the crew. He has quarters on the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Like, does Sabine come back and have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometime this season.
You think she will?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
so
gonna say
that's...
no.
Yep, Aaron's going to say no. That's what we think. We want to hear what you guys have to think. You got to go to patreon.com/blindwave to find that poll and all the polls.
Yeah, and leave comments.
And do that, and we'll see you guys next time on Star Wars Rebels. I'm Eric.
I'm Shane.
I'm Aaron. I knew they started with a D.
Yeah, Doros button. Aaron likes the D. Now, thank you guys. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you want to see more, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You can see us react to Star Wars Rebels and everything pretty much. Go down in the comments. You guys can talk about what we were talking about, or talk about something you want to talk about. Just don't talk about something stupid, because no one wants to talk about that.
We're done talking.